Going live.
Thundercats!
I just love that intro, JP. My goodness, that's crazy.
Sir.
Oh,
Oh, indeed.
hey guys, it's Jay and JP. We are
What's up,
here.
everybody?
We are the Thundercats lair. Thank you guys for
Sure.
joining us this afternoon. Absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness, JP. It is a crazy, crazy week for toys, but at the same time, a lot of great things happening at the Thundercats for pretty much everything going on behind the scenes. And you know what? There's a couple of things which you've been bringing up, which have been really interesting. I've been talking a lot about how Thundercats has really been on top of mind of everybody, especially since the movie for Master of the Universe is just getting inching closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
So but before we get started, how are you, JP? What have you been up to, and how are things going on your side?
I'm doing good, man. Just really excited about this week. It was a very monumental moment for Thundercats Classics, and just looking at all the possibilities of how this IP can grow. So some interesting stuff that we'll be talking about today that I posted this week. Got a lot of comments, a lot of feedback from different people. Some positive, some negative, but yeah, it's just all fun. It's all about Thundercats. So, let's get to it.
Absolutely. And the first thing that we should definitely get to is, of course, as you alluded to, some really big things have been happening over at Thundercats Classics. Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Thundercats Classics. After all, they have literally hit 101,000 followers. Oh my God. That's freaking crazy. Congratulations, JP. Wow. What a milestone, my friend. Holy crap. We got to do something special for this. You know what I mean? Like, definitely we have to do some giveaways, or we have to, celebrate in some freaking fashion. How does it feel hitting 100,000 subscribers, brother? How
Dude, it's amazing. Started, like I said, when Motu Classics, when Matty Collector initially announced that they were going to do Thundercats, from that point, I just said to myself, this is Thundercats time to shine, the IP to shine. Let's shine the light on this awesome brand, on this awesome cartoon, and never looked back since then. And here we are now. It's very telling. Like I've said before, it's really showing how much of a fandom there is for Thundercats, and we grow. Followers count is growing by the day, and it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's just right there behind Motu. So, like you said, with the Motu movie coming out next year, I'm really, really hoping this thing is successful, because that's really going to open up the realm of possibilities for Thundercats. Absolutely. I think it's kind of a no-brainer that Thundercats will go like full steam ahead after the Motu movie success.
100%. I'm very, very excited at the future for Thundercats Classics. Huge congratulations again, JP. Wow. What a milestone. I mean, we were talking about the other day how, you've gone through a lot of adversity on social media. you had an older channel once upon a time, which got taken down which got taken over by crypto, and just huge shenanigans, got that taken away. And
Yes.
then you were getting some success over at Facebook that had its own issues. And then luckily they didn't take down the Instagram page, and look where you are now. I mean, like, it's just an absolute incredible journey that you've been taking, and well deserved, brother. And you know what, you've been also instrumental in the community, right? Talking about Thundercats, but also sharing your wealth of knowledge, and then of course your collaborations with different companies. How's that? How does that work? How do they reach out to you? Like, what usually is the process?
I would say the first official collaboration that I did was, I want to say it was probably over a year ago now, when Puma launched their Thundercats shoe line, and they reached out to me, and we did a whole promo thing, and they sent me a pair of the Panthros, and that was really awesome, And after that, I believe I did some communications. Dynamite Comics reached out. I did a conversation with Drew Moss, which is the current illustrator for the new Thundercats comic book series from Dynamite Comics. And like I said, I've always just been really, really just chasing as many connections and collaboration opportunities as possible within the realm of Thundercats. Whether it's talking to Larry Kenny, I've had the good fortune of meeting and talking to Larry on many occasions in person and through video. I met Larry here in Florida. He came to a convention called UltraCon, and that was such an awesome moment because it was like kind of in the latter portion of COVID. So people were still wearing the mask, still being very, very careful and stuff like that. But I got to hang with Larry and talk to him, and I did a pop art portrait of Lionel that I gifted to him, and he wanted me to do an autograph of it, and then I have one myself autographed by him. So it was really awesome, to hang out with Larry. He's such an awesome dude. I don't know if I've said this before, but on my birthday, I swear to this, the first message that I see on Facebook wishing me a happy birthday is Larry Kenny's, dude.
Nice.
He is such a sweet, awesome dude, man, and so approachable, so humble.
Yeah.
Such a good guy, man,
I've had the fortune of meeting Larry Kenny once. And funnily enough, he actually held my custom Sword of Omens. And
awesome.
A lot of people like Larry's a big guy. Like, he's like, a lot of people don't know this. He's actually quite the imposing gentleman.
Yeah.
He is, like, his stature, if I may, does befit, Lionel, the Lord of the Thundercats. He really is one of those guys, right? But very humble, very, very kind. You know what I mean? Like you said.
Super sweet guy, man.
Yeah. Excellent communication with him. But once again, JP, congratulations again on 100,000 subscribers. Guys, if you haven't already, please head over to Thundercats Classics. The number one resource for Thundercats action figure news, and of course, news about Thundercats all year round. Give JP a like and a follow. Tell him the Thundercats Lair sent you. A lot of great things happening in the Thundercats world, particularly for Halloween. And I wanted to, and we're going to cover a lot of that, as well as some of the other funny things that have been happening with Thundercats. A little bit of controversy going on here and there, as always, right? Yeah. But the Thundercats in itself is just a wonderful property that we all love. So, all right, let's head to the chat first before we continue. Hector says, "What's up, Jay? How are you? Good to see you, Hector. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining today." Seth Amateur Hour. Hey, all. What's going on, Seth? Good to see you. JP, what's up, my friend? From Hector.
What's up, Hector? How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Ray Black. Hey, Jay in chat. What's going on, Ray? Good to see you. And of course, Dave's Dimension is in the house. What's going on, Dave?
What's up, Dave?
Dave says it's Dave, always don't like, YouTube is YouTube, but keep going, brother. You're doing some great work, man. Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Dave's Dimension on YouTube. The guy's doing excellent work. You really should check him out. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on over at Thundercats Classics, because there have been a lot of fun things that have been happening over the last couple of days, and I think we should definitely talk about it. So, heading over to Thundercats Classics, guys. JP posted this up a little while ago, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. The NECA Trick or Treat kids, the Ben Cooper kids, these were so well received by fans, and of course they are in reference to Friday the 13th. Actually, no, sorry, it's Halloween, right? It's in reference to Halloween. The kids that Michael Myers, follows, but never actually does anything. He doesn't really do anything. But I remember dressing up as a kid with these types of costumes, and I remember having an Optimus Prime costume. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think I have one of these up on my. Give me a second. While I'm pulling this up, JP, did you dress up as one of the Ben Cooper kids, with some?
Absolutely. I wore several, but the one that I could definitely clearly remember, as if it was yesterday, was the Ben Cooper Spider-Man costume. Yeah, with a plastic mask, with a rubber band, and the nylon unitard. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, man. Like I clearly remember dressing up as that. I got a call coming in, but talk to us a little bit about what these are and how you came up with these concepts, JP.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, aside from being a rabid fan of Thundercats IP, I'm also really into horror. I love the horror movies. I love Halloween even more than Christmas. So ever since NECA released their Ben Cooper kids, the Halloween kids, I've been like super supportive of that line. I think it's so cool. It's so nostalgic, and it's an awesome toy line. And the great thing is they don't really break the bank. They're $19.99 a pop, and they've really done a lot of crazy stuff. They've done original Ben Cooper stuff that was out in the day, but they've also done what ifs. And those what ifs represent other movie properties that never got the Ben Cooper treatment, such as Jaws. They have Trick or Treat, the movie. They had the most recent ones, Saw. They have Art the Clown from Terrifier. So a lot of these IPs in horror that didn't exist obviously in the 80s. They didn't have those types of costumes, but it's such a perfect mesh to bring those new IPs into what if sensibilities, where you have what if these movies came out in the 80s? What if these costumes were made by Ben Cooper? This is what they would look like, right? And they also have a very kind of creepy factor to them, in the sense that it's kind of like a masquerade where the masks are, I don't know how to say, but like derpy, I think was a word that my buddy Attack Peter used when he was talking to me about these kind of old vintage styled costumes and illustrations where it's not quite 100% accurate to what they represent, but they kind of, hit that mark, but there's a creep vibe to it. Like if we look at this right here, the Snarf himself looks like something super creepy. Obviously, he looks a lot more like the toy. And of course, guys, I used AI. I used ChatGPT to generate these images. There are some images that didn't make the cut that just looked really, really fucking weird. I mean, if you look at the Snarf, you could see that he actually has the toy hands, and the head is almost like 100% the same Super 7 Snarf head, only they kind of tweak the eyes a little bit. And then it's cool that they put the illustration of Snarf on the torso, which is what they usually do. It's either they do a logo, like you see here with Wile E. Kit, or the character on the chest, like you see with Wile E. Cat. Another thing I wanted to make sure is that I represented all the races here. So I wanted to make sure that there was all sorts of ethnicities. So I wanted to have white kids, darker kids, lighter skinned kids, just have that full representation. So this one here actually was the one I chose um, to show everybody, but there was some other really cool ones that were generated that were just all white kids. So I was like, I want to keep it, universal. But yeah, how awesome would it be if NECA were to get the rights from Warner Brothers and the green light to do these what if iterations of Thundercats costumes a la Ben Cooper Halloween costumes? That would be freaking awesome. And I started working on this weekend before Halloween, and I was like, this is the perfect post to start off the month of October. And yeah, it's kind of like you said, a lot of good feedback. A lot of people love the idea. They love the concept. Um, some people have been like, stop it with the AI. I get it. I'm not a big fan of AI myself when it comes to illustration, but like envisioning these kind of things, these what ifs and stuff like that, I think it's pretty cool. It's fun, and definitely I hopefully get NECA's attention and see if we get these later on down the line.
I'm excited about these two, JP. They look so neat, and I do appreciate the fact that you created these, regardless of if they're AI or not. They just give a kind of just a proof of concept idea. What happened with these guys? These are the mutants, right? So
Yeah.
like this was a neat kind of idea. I really appreciate this one. And I do appreciate the fact that you put like a lot of different ethnicities there. That's always a really good touch. Just like recognizing that it's not just the typical as you said the Halloween scene, right, where it was hard to tell which kids were which, but you could tell that there were a whole different bunch of kids. But I really liken the idea of like a Stranger Things kind of idea. You know what I mean? Where these guys definitely are drawing from that type of inspiration, right? And I think it'll be really excellent if one day NECA was to try and get this license together, or you know what? Heck, let's just say, because it's been done before. I really do think that Brian should look into it. I think Brian, there's a missed opportunity there. I think Brian should actually 100% think about doing something very similar to this. Obviously not in the exact same style as the Ben Cooper stuff, but I think it would be really cool if he just like had a limited run, maybe a convention exclusive kind of situation. You know what I mean?
I agree. And actually, thanks for bringing that up, because I think we're going to have Brian on pretty soon.
Yep.
And that's a good topic to bring up, especially for this month. And I know he's really a big fan of Halloween, and he's got the bodega and all that stuff. And he actually has, I don't know if it's official IP with Ben Cooper, but he has Halloween kids in the reaction line. So that would be a great thing to pitch to him and see if maybe he would be able to do these somehow.
Yeah, that would be to me. That's to me it's a missed opportunity. I think he definitely should, at least try something, because these ones in particular. I think these ones are like these ones were kind of a little bit hit and miss, but this one here, this is the epitome of what I remember as a kid. The way the masks look, like the fact that they're kind of like these little plastic little plastic things, really thin plastic, right? As a matter of fact, going back onto your page, you even found. Do you have this handy at all? Like this was
no, dude. I wish I owned that. But see, those are like little deep cut kind of vintage things that I would like to eventually, make part of the collection. So, like I recently, a few months back, I was able to acquire the Burger King kids meals boxes for the Thundercats, and they're in immaculate condition. I'll probably have them on a future episode where I do some showcase reels or something like that. But things like that, those little niche things where I want to get actually I do have it. I have the color form set of Thundercats, which was like kind of a board game thing that you would open up, and you had the color forms of both the heroes and the mutants, and you could just kind of stick them onto the boards and kind of play with those. I'm not 100% sure if they made Presto Magics of Thundercats, but little niche things like that, like the Thundercats mini figures or like eraser heads, stuff like that. I want to eventually start picking things up randomly as I find them at cons and stuff like that. And this, I would absolutely love to add to the collection.
Yeah, I'm very much. It's funny how you find these things at flea markets. You know what I mean? You basically find something, people just don't recognize what it is. But the fact that this actually turned up somewhere in a flea market somewhere in North America somewhere, or maybe in South America, right? I think it's a treasure that the people just don't immediately recognize, right?
Yeah.
So guys, keep your eyes open for these things when you go toy hunting or you go vintage toy collecting, because these things tend to just show up when you least expect it. They just sort of like pop in, and it's amazing when you finally get to see them in real life. Funnily enough, if I don't actually, I do have something here. Mattel actually over at San Diego Comic Con, I think it was 2020 or 2020. I think it was 2020, 2021, something like that. Let me grab these. These are fun. So talking about the Ben Cooper stuff, I just happened to have these because they were so back in 2021. I was at San Diego Comic Con, and they had a couple of stuff. They had these awesome tiaras for She-Ra.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, this was really fun, right? The She-Ra tiara, right? That was really cool. But then they had these collections, and I got the entire set because they were selling it individually or as a set. And I decided, screw it, I'll pick up the set, right? And check these out. These are fun. So there's He-Man.
Oh yeah,
right. So there's He-Man, the He-Man mask. And you can tell these are definitely inspired by Ben Cooper, right? And then we had the Slime Pit He-Man.
Oh, cool.
So the Horde Zombie He-Man.
And there was an Anti-Eternian one too, I believe.
There was. I don't think there was. I'm not sure. Oh no, you're right. There is. They're fun. There was a Faker, right?
Cool.
So these are fun, right? Now these aren't made of plastic; they're actually made of foam, which I thought was neat, right?
Yeah.
And then the final one, of course, as you said, that's like you ruined the surprise, JP. No, I'm just kidding. There was the Anti-Eternia He-Man.
Did they make Skeletor?
They did not. They did not.
Wow.
Because it was easier just to make a single mold, right?
Right.
And just get these out as all these He-Mans. That it was just a lot easier that way. So
that's really cool. And actually, it's funny that you mentioned, because I did generate some Motu Ben Coopers also, but awesome. I didn't post them on Thundercats. But yeah, I could send them to you if you want to share them.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe I should totally do that.
I sent you images of some of the Ben Cooper Thundercats that didn't make the cut, that are still kind of, they have like more of a creep factor to them. But yeah, I think like I just want Thundercats to be represented in as many possible ways, as we can get. So when we were talking the other day about the Motuniverse, right? It was going to be, we were talking about Eternian Royalty was talking about these Mattel plushie minis and, stuff like that. I would love to see stuff like that from Thundercats. Obviously we have Funko Pops, we have keychains that were done by Monogram. We've got the chibis that are going to come out from forget the name of the company right now. What was that company that had the claw shield?
That was Soap Studios.
Soap Studios, right? So it's like as much Thundercats as we can get. Let's go, man.
Absolutely.
So and definitely for NECA. I know that. I don't know if Randy is a big fan of Thundercats. I know he's a big fan of Motu, and he's a big fan of all things 80s. So if he were to happen to be able to pull it off, and we can get Thundercats, maybe not everybody, of course, but we could get like a Lion-O and a Mumm-Ra Ben Cooper kids. Wow, that would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very much looking forward to all the new stuff that's coming out and everything that we've been privy to. But at the same time, like you said, I'm very much hoping that we could definitely get something along the lines of Ben Cooper's kids. Halloween kids. I think those would be freaking fantastic. What Do you remember like so? What was the first time you remember? Which Halloween do you remember putting on a Ben Cooper costume? Like
Man,
because
dude, sounds like probably like 5 years old or something like that. So that would be
where did you get it? Was it Target? Was it Walmart? Like where did they pick it up from?
no, dude. Back in the day, what here we had some stores called Zayre,
Yeah,
Zayre.
yeah.
There was Best, there was Service Merchandise,
Oh
um,
yes,
Woolworths.
classic. Yep.
Um, I don't think there was any Walmarts back in the 70s or 80s down here. Target, absolutely not. The stores that were down here was, yeah, mostly Woolworths, Surface Merchandise, Zare. Zare was like the Target of the 70s and 80s. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that that stuff was purchased for me at Zare.
I my first experience with it here in Canada was definitely Wilco. Wilco, which is very much like a Woolworths. They're very akin to each other. We had a Canadian Tire here. We still have Canadian Tire here now. So yeah, I remember very much being a part of that, and I love like just going through all the racks. Remember, they were like 1,000. Even today, you go to like we still have Toys R Us here. You go to Target or Walmart, and they just have racks upon racks of different costumes. But the costumes are so much more elaborate today than they were back in the day.
Yeah.
They were just so much simpler and so quaint. You know what I mean? Like it was just like having fun with just the idea of like corporate branding, just at Transformers or Thundercats or it was just you were literally buying into a corporate entity at that point. It was hilarious.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because if you look at the designs, some of them didn't even have the branding. Because, like, if you pull up the Lion-O that you were sharing, I don't think it had Thundercats branding on it. Because it did. But there was like on the clothes itself and stuff. Sometimes with certain characters, they wouldn't put logos, and I wonder if it's because Ben Cooper didn't have the direct rights, so they had to kind of like tweak the look of certain characters to not get into any kind of trouble. But yeah, with him, you could definitely see the big logo on the top there. But I know that they did a Tigra, and I don't know if they did any other characters other than those. I'm pretty sure you would think it's a no-brainer that they did a Panthro, but I'm not sure if they existed. That would be a good little bit of research to do to see how many Thundercats Ben Coopers were actually done.
Yeah, it definitely would be one of those situations where we can find out more about.
Oh, look, I found Mumra. They did Mumra.
Okay.
And
do you want to share the screen?
Hold on. Let me, because I'm doing it on my phone. I'll send you the pictures.
Yeah, send me the pictures. I'll throw it up.
I'm trying to see what other characters were done. There was the Mumra, looks really creepy. And there was the Lion-O. And it looks like it was just Mumra and Lion-O. Which, let me see. I think I found a Halloween catalog. Oh, this is cool. I found a Halloween catalog, a Ben Cooper Halloween catalog that showcases. I'm going to send this to you right now. This is badass. Here we go. And you know what? I love this stuff so much, man. I'm probably going to do some concept art, making it look more Ben Cooperish, and I'll probably do like a Lion-O and Mumra concept art on this stuff.
Sounds good. All
right, look at your DM, because I did send some other generated images that didn't make the cut of the Evil Mutants and Mumra.
Yep.
And then I just sent you the Ben Cooper images. I wanted to say hi to Piper from UK. Hello from Germany. What's up, man? And Vaz, Final Girls. I think that they made similar ones and they couldn't get the licensing and they sold them at Kmart. Okay. And Eugenius Marflam, you're right. Zare was our Walmart back in the day, and Kmart. Yeah, I forgot about Kmart. Kmart and Zare were like the main flagship stores here in South Florida.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Kmart too. Kmart for sure. It's hilarious that we actually. I remember Kmart. I remember. Oh my god, just so hilarious that we should see this. These are really neat. They are creepy in so much that you can't see their eyes. But I
Yeah.
think even with their eyes, it would get really creepy too.
Yeah, it definitely, that was one of the reasons why, and then because it was all whitewashed, so I didn't want to use those. Same as these, you see. But you could see how, I guess the AI was like, well, Mumra has like that kind of um, shroud coming down from the crown. So
Mhm.
I guess they made the girl dress as Mumra.
Sure.
But it looks cool. I mean, I
Yeah.
really like the, what it did. And it was
Yeah,
very simple prompts, for this to be generated.
it's really cool. I think that there is an innocence about it, but at the same time, there is a creep factor that cannot be denied. And these
No,
things,
absolutely not.
damn creepy. Like seriously, they look so creepy. But I still love it. I think you should. I think we'll definitely be showing a lot of these. And then we have the Ben Cooper catalog here, which looks that is so cool. Yes, Voltron. I remember dressing up as Voltron. I
Look
remember
at
that.
that lion, dude.
Yeah, man,
It's lion mullet.
that is so neat, man.
He's
I
got a
love it.
lion mullet.
I love it. That is so cool. That is so cool. And look at the Hulk Hogan. What? Oh, there's the He-Man.
That's the Spider-Man I had, dude. Wow,
Yeah.
the He-Man looks awesome, man.
He-Man looks wicked, man.
You see,
She-Ra looks
I
amazing.
feel like because they existed, NECA's got to make them, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They gotta get some licensing in there and really make it happen. Like that would
Because it's
be
not even a what if anymore. It's
that'd
like
be
they
so cool.
actually existed. So
Yeah. But and then we have the Sergeant Slaughter down there. Those so cool. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember these. These are so crazy. Oh my gosh.
no, there's a lot of
That is
crazy ones.
nuts. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I remember this character. Was he from like Rainbow Bright or something like that? I can't
I
remember.
want to say it was something along those lines. Not 100% sure.
Yeah. Not sure about I think that's a bride. That's some sort of bride with her Barbie bride. There it is. Barbie. That's a Barbie bride. Right? Oh yeah, mask. Look at the sectors. Wow.
Yeah.
Sectors. This is so cool.
Very cool. Superman. Badass.
You know what? It was really cool too because these are like for those of you who don't recognize these are actually made of vinyl. They're made of plastic vinyl.
Yeah.
And they would rip so easily. I remember.
Oh yeah. And they had the little drawstrings in the back of the neck.
It was just so bad. But they're classic, right? Finding an intact version is just impossible. You cannot find an intact version.
No, it's hard.
They were made of such terrible materials as well. Like these things would degrade very, very quickly. So
yeah, these things didn't age well. So it's really hard. Like I was trying to track down a Spider-Man one and a Lion one, and it's just really hard because, I remember wearing them and they would make you sweat because the plastic, the nylon would stick to your skin.
Yeah, even the mask, just breathing in the mask was a chore. Right,
yeah.
It would fog up, and you get all sweaty, right?
Yeah.
It was, but those are the best times, man. Those are the fun times. You know how we as kids, coped with that. Like here in Canada, at least in Toronto, it was damn cold. It's always cold around Halloween whenever you go trick or treating. So we would wear our coats on top of the costumes, which was kind of dumb, but your parents didn't want you to catch cold. It was just one of those things. But it was just such the experience, being able to go out and have fun with your friends, right? Yeah. I don't know if you had this in your neighborhood. Some I think today it's more prevalent now, but some households would just open up their houses to you, and you could walk through and just like see all the creepy things they had inside the house. I don't know if they do that anymore today, but back then, like all the kids would just run around the house. It was crazy.
Yeah, it depends on the neighborhood. Actually, I did that myself on my sophomore year of high school. I turned my grandparents' house into a haunted house. It was awesome. The bathroom was Creature from the Black Lagoon. In the kitchen, I had a witch cooking up a brew. I had like a cardboard coffin in the living room with a Dracula. And I had one buddy of mine that he had this smart idea. He's like, dude, I got this awesome idea. Why don't you black out this bedroom and I'll put like skeleton makeup in glow in the dark and I'll come out and scare the shit out of people. At the end of the thing, it was like I think like 25, 30 people went to this thing. At the end of the party, we were all looking for him. His name was Apollo. It's like, where's Apollo? Has anybody seen Apollo? Dude, I started noticing that there was a lot of guys walking out with their girlfriends and they had like glow in the dark paint around their hands and
No
stuff like
way.
that. So when we finally go into the room, Apollo's knocked out because apparently some dude knocked him out,
What?
like defending his girlfriend because it was so dark in there. And when he came out, like the girl screamed, and the first reaction of the boyfriend was to punch Apollo.
Oh no.
He knocked him out.
That
It's
is
like,
so crazy, dude.
yeah.
So you had a
But
black eye for Halloween. That's crazy.
yeah, literally, it sucked for him, but it was funny at first
Oh
because
yeah,
like,
of course it's funny.
but yeah, no, they still do that, and actually, it depends on the neighborhood. So I talked to a buddy of mine that I work with. He told me there's a neighborhood where he goes every Halloween, where there's actually a house, and every year they add more and more stuff, and it's become a thing in the neighborhood where people just line up to go in here, and it's literally like a haunted house. You go inside, they have something going on in the garage, they got something going on throughout the house. They only use the first level, but they make it scarier every year. And that kind of stuff, like if I was a homeowner, I was told my wife I would love to do something like that where I would make some sort of tunnel so that you have to at least go through the tunnel to get into the garage to get candy, and you would get the wits scared out of you. Getting to the candy, I would make it like a monster dark tunnel and shit.
I know that there are all these reports. I don't know if you've seen them on YouTube. You must have. Where there's this reporter trying to go through a haunted house. She's freaking out. You know what I mean? Because everybody's jump scaring her and stuff like that. Those are the things that back in the day. Were just so much fun, and it was great to live during that time. You know what I mean? Like just like not knowing what to expect and just being pleasantly surprised and really having a great time about it. I
Very
miss
carefree times, man. I miss the carefree times. Riding your bike around the neighborhood, coming home for supper, and we're just hanging out with your friends. Nobody was like stuck at home, sitting in front of a TV, playing video games or streaming and shit. It was really awesome times.
totally fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and that's why I think Stranger Things really did bring back that nostalgia for people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It really did connect with a lot of people on that level. But yeah, great stuff. Thank you for sharing those, JP. Like this really brings a lot of people back. On that kind of nostalgia from back in the day. It's just crazy, guys.
Yeah,
definitely subscribe to Thundercats Classics because this is the kind of stuff that you will be finding on the Thundercats Classics channel, and of course here on Thundercats Lair. Do you want to give a quick shout out to all our Latino viewers really quickly, JP?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go on here and pull up. All right, para todos que están compartiendo con nosotros en vivo, gracias por sintonizar con nosotros. Si quieren conversar con nosotros, vayan a la página de YouTube. El enlace está en las historias mías. Pueden hacer clic ahí y compartan en la conversación. Si tienen alguna pregunta o quieren mencionar algo, tienen que ir a YouTube para hacer eso. Yo no voy a contestar preguntas aquí en Instagram. So yeah, basically I was just telling everybody that's on Instagram, the party is at YouTube. So if they want to join in on the party, have comments, they want to say anything, they need to come over to our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. Muchas gracias. We really appreciate it. It's always great to see everybody here, especially all the family that's over at Thundercats Classics. You guys really make this very special for us. Okay, so JP, we got a lot of things to talk about for Thundercats, Um, I really did appreciate you posting this up because it brought back so many memories for me. Going into, as I said, Wilco. Wilco for me was the big one. But also there was a bargain. Where I used to get all of my Thundercats way back in the way was a place called Bargain Heralds and another place called Byway. Now, I don't think you had those in America, but they were usually these little stores. But you know how in malls sometimes they have these stores which are actually down the stairs? I don't know if you've ever seen those ones, like in strip malls or stuff. There's like a downstairs version of
No.
these little stores. Yeah, here in Canada, it was a very common thing to do that. And I remember just rummaging through the bins because what they would do is that for the kids section, they wouldn't have them on the shelves. They would actually have them in these bins, right?
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I would just like rummage through them, and I found Rotaro, I found Monkian, which was my absolute favorite toy as a kid. I loved his action feature where he was swinging around his ball and chain.
Mhm.
Love that. It was so much fun. I also, of course, had Lionel and Snarf, and of course Bumrock. How many LJN figures did you finally pick up at before?
Man, honestly, I mean, with Thundercats, I know for sure I had Panthro, I had Lionel, I had Mumra, I had Monkey, and I had Vulture Man. Um, and I think that's about it. I think I had the mail away Mumra because when we were little, like for me, I grew up. I was raised by my grandparents,
Mhm.
so I'm sure they had very limited income, and but they did what they could, and they bought as many things as they could for me. I want to say I think I had um, maybe Tigra, but for sure I know I had Lionel, and my go-to was Lionel and Panthro. It was always kind of a toss-up. Like I liked them both equally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I the one of the great gimmicks for Lionel was his action feature where he would raise his sword and just do a chopping motion,
Yeah.
and of course Mumra, if I'm not mistaken, both of his hands actually went up and down, from what I remember. And but the real fun gimmick, of course, was the light up feature. I thought that was hilarious. I remember because I was a kid, I didn't realize that you had to change the batteries, so it just kept trying to push it in harder and harder, and it would never light up.
Mhm.
So it was just a fun thing. LJN was ahead of its time in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? They were not the best action figures around, but they were a lot
No.
of fun. You know what I mean? Like it was just a really fun toy line to actually get into.
These figures, man, are the vintage ones on card. Are
Yes.
probably one of the most expensive vintage collectibles to acquire in the market today. I guess it's because they weren't as mass produced as Masters of the Universe stuff was. If you look at the pricing on like a mint, not a mint, but like a really good on card lion or really good on card, even like a Safari Joe, dude, fetches like close to $1,000. It's insane.
That's nuts. That is
Yeah,
crazy. That is crazy.
insane. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
But this
this,
is
I want to say that one of the inspirations for this post was our buddy Miguel Bayón, also known as Motu Comic. He reached out to me because he's always had this rabid, um, like want to be to have like repros of the Motu classics. I mean, sorry, of the Thundercats LJN line. So similar to how what Mattel did with the LJN wrestlers.
Yep.
Miguel is like, why doesn't Super 7 try to get um, the rights to reproduce the LJN figures? And I told Miguel, I'm like, I'm really into the whole vintage sensibilities. Like I like to buy the vintage card figures and stuff like that with like Hasbro, what they do with the Spider-Man, and I love when they do the vintage stuff with other IPs. But for me, what I would prefer is classic vintage card, modern sensibilities, updated figure. I wouldn't necessarily want repros of the LJN stuff. How do you feel about that? Would you like direct repros with like the toy motion functions and all that?
There's a lot of nostalgia I have for the LJN stuff, right? And I think that to a certain degree, we're seeing that now with Mask, right? Mask is literally, the loyal subjects are literally bringing Mask back as close as possible
Mhm.
to the original. They're literally they have to remake them, obviously, but they are doing what they can to actually make it as close as possible in the same scale, in the same size, everything to that. But I will say that there is something about wanting something newer. You know what I mean? Um, Master Universe is now just releasing once again its 80th. It's Mattel's 80th anniversary Master Universe 2-pack
Mhm.
with Skeletor and He-Man.
Right.
And my biggest problem with that 2-pack is the fact that it's not the same. It's got the twisted, it's got the power punch action, it's got the rubber band. Sorry, not the rubber band, but it doesn't have the rubber band. They got rid of the dumbbell joints, right?
Mhm.
But it has the soft heads, right? Which, for good or for bad, who knows how they're going to end up in a year from now, 2 years from now, who knows, right? But their head sculpts are not the same. They are a softer, like they're not sculpted the same. They don't feel the same, right? There's something about the way the LJN molds came out. There were errors. You know what I mean? Like the paint wasn't exactly right. And we're actually going to get to that portion of paint in the next segment. But it was those little errors that really gave it its charm. You know
Yeah.
what I don't think it would have been the same if it was like a perfect figure. You know what I mean? Like we expect today, right? I think that those little errors, the slight adjustments of paint, the overspill, things like that. I think that really gave it a charm all of its own. You know
Oh
what I mean?
no, absolutely. It's something that is it was the standard in those times. There was no perfection. These figures were hand carved, for God's sakes, you know?
Yeah.
So, definitely I remember, with the figures, once you play with them a couple times, they fell on the ground outside on the asphalt. Their nose paint would start
Yeah.
rubbing off. And so, yeah, it completely different. We will never get like a complete reenactment of what we had in our hands as kids back in the day. But again, looking at an image like this, I would love this, but I would love it where the figures are like super articulated and they could still have the vintage sensibilities like the paint hits and stuff like that. But I don't want like wonky play action uh, plastic figures. Because another thing, I don't know if you're familiar with, if you own any of the vintage LJN figures, but I guess they used some sort of material that over the years, the figure would release like this kind of oily compound. So, I have a Monkian that I picked up and a Groon that I picked up at Toylanta, and they're like sticky, and there's like a little
Yeah, yeah,
oil
yeah, yeah,
that seeps out.
yeah. It is that type of plastic that they were using in the in the 80s, right?
Mhm.
And that's like the soft heads, right? That I'm talking about with like
Yeah.
Master
Yeah, yeah.
Universe with Teenage Mutant. They tend to break down,
Mhm.
and because of that, they turn sticky, right?
Right.
And even today, there are some controllers for like televisions that have the same problem, right? So these are the things that happen over time, and that's actually why a lot of people are worried about the Maximum Series Hulk, right? The Ultimate Spider-Man, all these things which have like these softer parts. Like,
Mhm.
what's the longevity of them, right? A lot of people,
Right.
and Mondo's now getting into the soft, upper torso, right, with He-Man 2000X. So it's going to be a toss up as to see what will eventually happen with these types of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Fangirl 27, final girl 27. That sounds so much fun. It really was back in the day. Rodimus Prime 1982. Once Facebook saw kids dressed as Ice Cube and his old rap crew because of the movie Straight Outta Compton. I said Straight Outta Compton costume ideas. Yeah, I can be a jerk sometimes. I don't care. Jordan from Canada. Cheers, JP, Mega J. I'm excited for all the Thundercats and Motuniverse goodness from you, Carlos, and Eternity Royalty. Brother, we are hard at work trying to bring you this wonderful convention, and we are very, very excited at what the possibilities will bring.
Definitely.
So, getting back to LJN, JP, earlier this month, it was announced that last month. It was announced that LJN, Super 7 would be bringing out the LJN style toy edic versions of Lion-O and Snarf in Ultimates form for DX. Sorry, not Ultimates form, in DX, in the DX Deluxe.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's fallen a little short of the mark. So JP showed me these images, and I thought, okay, that's not bad. But then he showed me the next image, which kind of my heart sank. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. The colors look good. The sword looks right. The claw shield looks right. But again, it's got 5 fingers, which doesn't make is right. It is correct actually, because the 5 fingers is what it looked like with the original release from LJN. It wasn't the 3 fingers. And Snarf, as I said earlier, I'm not really happy. I mean, like he's such a small character. Give us more pieces, right? But that aside, the problem is this. What was it that you said? Actually, it's right there.
Dude, that's the first thing I was going to say. It's got Ronald McDonald vibes, man. And they messed up the blue. That's not the same blue that was shown in the
it's a very deep blue
images. Yeah.
It's a very deep blue.
It's like, dude, and I don't want to be the one that's like just the negative Nancy, but you got to call a spade, man. Like, it's just, what is going on? Like, why is product continuously coming out different, having QC issues? We want to support this line, but it's just like, it's one after another, man. Of like, look, I'm going to pick this up, right? Because I picked up the Ultimates and I refused to take them out of the box because I couldn't get a second one. And, I was like, okay, great. I got another go at it. And this time I don't have to break the bank. So I'm definitely getting this. But, dude, what happened with the colors, man?
It's just crazy because, you know what? What's really strange, right? What's really strange is if you compare it to the original, right? Mm-hmm. I can see what they were trying to do. I can see what they were trying to do. They were trying to capture the essence of the original, right? With the sockets, which actually are translucent eyes, right? That's the thing, and the paint, which is kind of like around, and that one little, the lips, which are colored the regular skin tone, right? Mm-hmm. But it just sort of missed the mark, right? Instead of just doing a simple one line for the mouth, they did the whole lips themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of.
I think what it is more than anything is whoever did the production management for this, that was telling the factories how to paint this stuff. I don't know if Super 7 uses Paint Masters or if they just send digital images to the factories, but the contrast is too strong between the orange and the yellow. That subtlety is supposed to be it's supposed to be lighter. So the way I would do it is you could keep that orange, but then make that yellow a closer hue of that orange, like a lighter hue, so that it blends. But here there's such a stark contrast within the two colors, between the two colors, that it makes it look like clown paint.
Yeah, it's a rough situation, especially when you consider that not that long ago, right? Not that long ago, the same figure was released in Ultimates, and honestly, I think that Ultimates did it better, right?
If you actually, figure looked amazing, and it's one of those things where, again, man, I don't know how you can go from, like hitting it right out of the park to dropping the ball like that. All they had to really do was replicate this head, basically, and pop it on that body. and then just get the harness color to match this blue. Like, I mean, hello, there's Pantone for this. Like, you just look for the color swash and be like, hey, okay, this is the blue I need on the chest harness, you know? So I don't know. I just don't know like how there is such a significant disconnect in the communications on how to get these things produced properly or painted properly, you know?
Big M is in the house. Good to see you, Big M. OG Cartoon. Good to see you, brother.
OG Cartoon, what's up? CB Hunt, what's up?
Can't wait to make my own toys very soon. Awesome, brother. Let us know.
Oh,
and
cool.
CB Hunt makes a very good point. You have to see whoever took the picture took it from an upper angle. It may look different facing head on. That is a possibility.
Yeah, that's very true. The lighting sometimes makes a big difference.
Massively. Like we've seen that in the past before.
I like Rodimus Prime's comment. That figure gives me Robot Chicken vibes.
And you know what? We look at this one here, and yeah, there maybe there's a case there. Maybe there definitely is a case there.
Yeah.
But I'm just you know what? Truthfully though, JP, I am just happy that there's a $35 option. You know? What I mean?
No, absolutely. Pinless option, right?
Yeah, that too, right? It's actually an upgrade. And and for a cheaper price, because this one is not cheap.
No, it's not.
This one is 60 freaking. Well, now it's like $65 now.
If you get lucky, yeah, it's sold out everywhere, man.
Yeah, you probably and aftermarket. I'm pretty sure he's up there. He's up there.
There is one Lion-O that I'm missing still, which I got to pull the trigger on any day now, and it's the LED lights.
Yes,
Lion-O,
brother, you need to get that one.
Yeah, I've heard that one is like.
Awesome.
You know,
it is a game. That one's a game changer. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, absolutely, that one's a game changer. Thank you, CB Hunts. Rodimus Prime, 1982. That figure gives me Robo Chicken. I love it. Yeah, brother. We'd love to see them. We would love to see them. Eternianos, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, Eternianos?
What's going on, bro? Good to see you. OG Cartoon, would love to collaborate with you guys, brother. Hit us up. You know, up on our YouTube page, hit us up. Thundercats Lair, and of course Thundercats Classics on Instagram. Hit us up, brother. CB Hunts plus in hand. Maybe it's different. It's just simple. It's just maybe that one figure that looks off. Maybe. Yeah. Generally speaking, it's hard to say. Honestly, it's a very difficult thing. But no matter what, more Thundercats is better than no Thundercats. That's
no, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So, thank you guys for joining us. This has been a really great afternoon, but I wanted to touch up on two more things before we log off. First off, JP, Thundercats, LJN style Cats Lair. Sorry, Cats Thundercat, Thunder Tank. What am I talking about? The LJN style Thunder Tank has started making its way into people's hands.
Yes, sir.
And this little guy finally showed up. What are your thoughts? Are you happy with the way he looks? Like, what are your thoughts about Panthro?
He definitely gives me that childish nostalgia vibes, where you know that lighter blue on the chest harness. You know, that expression is very akin to the '80s toy. It's definitely an awesome figure. I just feel like this particular take on Panthro deserved his own like blister card or window box. Like I don't appreciate this figure being on a plastic clamshell just like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally get it. But realistically, in the big scheme of things, you know, I know what you're saying. It definitely would have been a much better choice, in my opinion, if they actually did what they did with like some of the G.I. Joe packaging where you had a window box. I think that would have been neat.
Yeah, for sure.
At least that would have been, you know, something special, right? But as we already know, packaging is secondary to a lot of these companies, right? But still, I'm just glad they're showing up and we're getting to see our first glimpses of it.
Absolutely. I'm just hoping that we get another stab at him outside the tank, you know, because, obviously they're gonna reuse this body. They'll probably give us an Ultimates 2.0 Lion-O. They'll probably give us a DX, but
Yeah.
will it be in these same colors? You know what I mean? That's kind of like the big guessing game there.
He had a second head sculpt, right? Or did he not?
Yes, I believe he does, and it's probably where this guy's thumb is, like in the back of the tray, because he does have a regular portrait.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere back here. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. And the reason I say that is because with the DX version, you can definitely get another head sculpt, right? Something completely different, right? Which would be nice. But obviously, I think they're also going to do an Ultimates, which it seems like their standard issue, right? To do the Ultimates and then to do a DX. So, yeah, I guess time will tell. Still, good to know that Ultimates Panthro and, of course, toy version Panthro with toy version Thunder Tank are starting to show up on people's doors. So great stuff. Huge shout out to Luis Baez Acevedo on Facebook. Thank you, guys. And just to remind us that it is Halloween. If you are interested, and we don't know when these are actually coming out, but Trick or Treat Studios has been holding up the mantle for Thundercats, as they have. We've talked multiple times about the Thundercats Sword of Omens, which JP and I are dying to get our hands on this thing.
Oh my god, dude.
Dying to get
No idea.
But they also have freaking masks. Now these are not exactly Ben Cooper masks, but they are rather realistic masks.
Yeah, they look really good. They look really good.
Right? But you will sweat in these like a mofo, man. These things do not breathe. I'm not even sure you could actually breathe in these things. It's got a tiny little slit for a breathing ability. I don't think that this breathes well at all.
Yeah.
Like, this is not one that you can wear for extended periods of time, guys.
Absolutely not. No.
This is something that you wear for like a minute at a time, maybe 2 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
They have Lion-O and they have Panthro. I think Panthro is the much better looking version of these two. What would you say, JP?
I agree. I think mainly it's because he's bald. So it's probably easier for them to catch the essence of the character. With Lion-O, it's like a soft rubber, and they're trying to sculpt hair with a windblown effect. So it's kind of got its complexities to the design.
Absolutely. But I'm loving these. They will they're being retailed at $49.99 USD whenever they come out eventually. And
actually, these have been out. These came out fourth quarter of 2024.
Was that right?
Okay. Yeah, they've been out. I've seen them in person,
cool.
And actually reached out to Trick or Treat Studios and just waiting to see about Sword of Omens and maybe these masks, having some of these sent to us to check them out.
That would be freaking amazing. I'm actually really liking these. Even as display pieces, they look really nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. They look really handsome. I think that on your shelf with a mannequin head, I think they would look freaking incredible. There is a creep factor to them. They look a little bit creepy. Lion-O in particular, I think Panthro is the winner here because Lion-O looks a little bit creepier than Panthro does.
Yeah, like that angle right there is it looks almost
the best. This is the best angle for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one,
like how they do the sideburns and stuff.
Yeah. But they really are cool. I would love to talk to Alexander Ray, who is really the guy who's really putting all these things together. He's responsible for the Sword of Omens as well as both of these masks.
Awesome.
So one day, maybe we can figure out a time to sit down with Alexander and talk to him about it. He's obviously a fan. You know what I mean, JP? He's obviously a fan because this sword is accurate to the nth degree. I've been studying it. The sword is really super accurate. I broke it down on the last episode, and I was really impressed. So Alexander, if you're watching, we'd love to hear from you, brother. We would love to interview you and talk Thundercats, man. I think that's definitely on my radar, 100%. Wow, a lot of great things happening at Thundercats for the Thundercats news, guys. JP, what is this? Like, is this a custom? What are we looking at here?
Dude, that's a picture that I found these pictures in photo album that I had. I was looking through my old stuff. This is the first ever stab at a Lion-O action figure custom. I made this, I want to say like in 2001 or something like that. And it was basically using, if I remember correctly, this was the first Century Marvel Legends figure. So whenever that figure came out, this is the figure I used. I sculpted the whole harness piece out of clay. I sculpted the hair piece, and then I painted it up. Obviously, it's not the best looking, but back then there was nothing else. There was just the vintage stuff. If you were lucky enough to track it down, I don't think the Bandai stuff had even come out then. So this was really kind of like me saying, "Hey, I want Thundercats figures," and yeah, so it's interesting to see how we went from doing our own customs to like the awesome product that we have nowadays from Super 7 and Mondo. Man, I cannot wait for that Mumra, dude. Like that's 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 an amazing figure. I cannot wait to get my hands on.
I wish I had. I missed out. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get that Mumra. I totally missed out. Only because again there was just it wasn't in the cards at the time. I didn't have enough money. But I'm pretty sure an opportunity will present itself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, warehouse find or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, thank you again for joining us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Thundercats Classics on Instagram. 100,000 followers, guys. Absolutely crazy. Congratulations again, JP. What a milestone, my friend. Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. No, and I wanted just to thank the Thundercats fans, because really it's all about them. They're the ones that are chiming in, and they're showing their love for the IP. All I'm doing is I'm just a messenger. I'm just showing off everything that I possibly can from the Thundercats IP, everything that's coming out. And it's interesting to see the scope of things, because people are like, to this day, there's still people like, where can I get a Cat Slayer? Or where can I get a Thunder Tank? Like, there's still people out there, Jay, that don't even know about the Super 7 Ultimates. They don't know about Mondo, so just reaching out to the masses and letting people know that there's all this awesome representation of our beloved IP out there. It's awesome.
Absolutely. This is why we're here, guys. We're here to it's not educate, but we're here to let people know that these products exist. We're here to let people know that
spread the good word.
That what if obviously there are people who just have nostalgia for this stuff and say, and I've actually had people, and you too, I'm pretty sure, message me and say, I didn't even know this existed, and they're just so shocked, right? And they're like, oh my god, thank you, I just bought it. Like I get a lot of those messages. You know what I mean? And it always makes me feel good that that we were able to deliver that to somebody. You know what I mean? To make that nostalgia happen, right? Because not everybody has the same friends, right? Who actually have the same like-minded interest. And it's great whenever we are able to help people like that.
Absolutely.
OG Cartoon, are you guys linked on LinkedIn? I am not.
I'm on LinkedIn.
My LinkedIn got kiboshed. Like I don't know. They implemented this know your identity thing, and I was not into it. So I said, screw you guys. So I am now not on LinkedIn. But you can hit me up on IG. You can hit JP up on IG for Thundercats Classics. I'm Mega J Retro, of course. Hit us up, brother. Fantastic Plastic. Greetings, Mega J. Your presentation of El Dragoon was terrific. Thank you, brother.
Yes, that was awesome.
Thank you. And of course, El Dragoon is coming, brother. It's coming. We're very excited. And this man right here is providing some amazing details.
I just sent some updates to
I saw
Danny.
I saw them. Nova Regen, what's going on, brother? Missed the stream. Just barely, but
we're still here.
Yeah. Jordan from Canada. Question. When it comes to Thundercats franchise, what is the number one thing that you both would wish into existence? That's a tough one. A lot of them have already been done, but I think that there are a lot of deep cut figures that have not made their way into action figure form. I'm really looking forward to the Driller. I really want that character. I've been wanting him for so long. Obviously, he exists in LJN, but in terms of like Ultimates, I really would like to see the Driller. I think that that's fun, and a lot of the vehicles. Well, like we need more vehicles, but it's hard. It is really hard to do vehicles. I mean, like the Thunder Tech is like $600. You know what I mean? It's a big ask. It's a big ask. What about you, JP? What would you will into existence?
Two things. So I'll mention top figure and top playset.
Okay.
Top playset. Mumra's Tomb.
Oh, okay.
But I don't want the 80s Mumra's Tomb only. I want definitely, the niche where the sarcophagus sits, the big skull, with the steps. And then I want the well also. Yeah. And I would love for that to have some sort of light up effect or something where it's like he's concocting like a spell or something. Having the ancient spirits of evil statues, it's pushing it a little bit because it takes a lot of space, but it would still be amazing. And there's some great people that have done some awesome stuff. Actually, I'm in the process of getting, and then I'm going to be painting an actual 3D output of Mumra's Tomb that was sculpted by Yerko. And
really, okay, yeah, Yerko's Tomb, yeah, that was beautiful.
So I'm going to be getting that pretty soon. I had somebody print it for me, and they sent me some samples. It scales really well with the Ultimates, so nice. Can't wait to have that. I'm going to custom paint it and all that stuff. And then as far as figures, I want something that hasn't been done before. I would really love a Demolisher figure.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I love Demolisher with the jetpack and his little was like a little anteater kind of pet. Yeah, and like all his weapons. It's just a badass, really cool character that was never done in action figure form in the 80s.
I really like, there's a whole bunch of them, like the Inflamer, right? The Tuscanar. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these deep cut characters, right? Friends and foes, right?
Oh, and Automaton, dude.
Yeah,
the cybernetic samurai, dude. That is.
Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful, right? A lot of these guys that never really saw the light of day. Snow Meow, we need freaking Snow Meow, guys. We need Snow Meow. Oh my god, we need Snow Meow. That is something that we absolutely need. OG Cartoon, he looks like he has too much women makeup on.
The toy
yeah, clown makeup and everything. Yeah, it was a bit. Or you talking about the mask for Lionel? That's possible too.
No, I think he's talking about the repaint, the toy repaint from DX.
Yeah. CB Hunts, is that a foam sword? No, it is a light up plastic sword, which looks amazing. It looks incredible. It's a collector's item. Marketed as a cartoon, as a Halloween prop, which I love. I love the fact that they did that. That's so great.
Yeah, dude.
It makes it so affordable. Jordan from Canada, really impressive Lionel custom. Yes, very good. Like I was very impressed, JP. The fact that you made that's just beautiful back in the day. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
OG Cartoon, Mondo makes dope toys. Yes, they do. They make incredible toys. And guys, if you haven't already, really consider 2000X He-Man. It's expensive. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah,
but it is incredible.
It is
incredible. If you're only going to grab one, grab He-Man. Okay, grab the $99 He-Man. Just grab it. Trust me, it's worth it. It is really worth it. JP and I saw it firsthand. In freaking incredible. Sign up for a new one. Yes, of course.
And I think we're gonna see Skeletor and Man-at-Arms painted up at NYCC.
That would be sick. And imagine if we saw imagine if there was another Thundercats drop at NYCC. Wouldn't that be great, JP? Wouldn't that be amazing? But we have our good friend Michael of Toy Habits. He's going to be there.
That's awesome.
He's going to cover it, man. He's going to be at that panel. You guys mind my hashtag on here? That's all right, brother. Just message me or message even here on YouTube. Put a comment in the comment section. We'll get to it. CB Hunt stands to Jordan's question. I can't wait until they make the nose. Oh, the nose diver.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. My only problem with the nose diver is Slide will not be able to sit in that thing.
No.
There's no freaking way.
It would have to be like a brand new Slide. It would probably have to be like something third party or like a Mondo take on Slide.
Yeah, it's crazy because the current Slide is incredible, but he's too big. He's too big. There's no way. Jordan from Canada, fun stuff. Thanks, guys in chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thai mask. Yes, the mask is dope. Yes, the masks are amazing. And apparently they're still available for sale. So
yep.
You should be able to pick them up somewhere. I bet my artwork look would be badass for toys. Well, brother, we would definitely love to hook up with you, brother. Let us know. All right, JP, thank you so much for joining me, brother. It's been a great afternoon of reminiscing about action figures and toys and Halloween. Are you taking your kids out for Halloween this year?
Yeah, for sure. As a matter of fact, we're going to a good friend of mine's, actually, an elementary school friend of mine.
Nice.
And we're going to his neighborhood. We're going to go do trick-or-treating in his neighborhood. And we're doing a sleepover, Halloween sleepover with scary movies. My daughter is mentioning it every day, so she's super excited. We really haven't had a chance to go out and do the whole trick-or-treat thing because where we live, it's not that friendly trick-or-treat wise. It depends on the neighborhoods that you live by. So we haven't gone out trick-or-treating. So this is actually going to be the first time that I'm actually taking the girls out to a neighborhood versus taking them to the mall or like a trunk or treat or something like that. Yeah. So it's more of like a traditional trick-or-treating.
Yeah, I that's a thing. I didn't know that was like I haven't been.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, because there's a lot of bad.
It's dangerous. There's
a lot of bad people out there, and it's just one of those things where they've developed all these things for kids that are safer. It's usually during the day, or it'll be like at a city hall, or like at the mall. A bunch of stores will participate and they give out candy at the stores. The parks, stuff like that. But the traditional trick-or-treating, going from house to house, knocking on a door, getting candy, it's kind of selective to the neighborhoods where you live. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I do. Because I remember the first time I watched E.T. And I saw
all the kids just rummaging everywhere,
Yeah, but trick-or-treating in the daytime.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? I was like, that's so here in Canada, it's just not a thing, right? So I remember seeing that. I was like, what the hell is going on? Why are they going around in the daytime? It was a culture shock at the time, right?
Yeah.
So now learning more about that's classic. That's amazing. JP, how can people reach you, and what else are you working on today, brother?
Man, like always, Thundercats_classics. My art Instagram is JP_arts studio, and of course, don't forget, From the Realm, upcoming Kickstarter action figure line that me, my buddy Carlos, Eric Sosa, and Sebastian Dominguez are working on. Really exciting stuff we're working on. Hopefully for some new stuff to be shown at Legions Con coming up in November in Jersey. So if you're a fan of anything Mythic Legions or Four Horsemen, make your way over to Legions Con in New Jersey. And, you can meet me and Carlos, the Badass Reviews. And we could, chit chat about, Thundercats, upcoming Kickstarter. So just really working on that stuff right now.
Sweet. Thank you so much, JP, for joining us. You guys, you can always reach me at Mega J Retro on YouTube and, of course, Instagram. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great afternoon just catching up with everybody and, of course, the plans for Halloween. Last comment before we log off. QB Boogie, I think we need the Mad Bubbler. Yes, of course. We need the Mad Bubbler.
That would be awesome.
The toy that never was. It would be freaking awesome, QB. Thank you. Thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate it. Guys, we are the Thundercats Lair, and thank you for joining us. We will see you guys next time. One more time, JP. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Thunder.
Thunder. Thunder.
Thunder.
Thunder. Thundercats Ho!
Oh, we got it, guys. Take care, everybody. Good
Thank you,
journey.
guys. Have a good evening. Take
And geek
care.
proud.
See you next week.
Take care.